What's up, guys? K Wills here. Today I'm going to do my review for WWE's Money in the Bank pay-per-view for 2012. Let's get right into it. With the first match was the Money in the Bank ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship contract between Dolph Ziggler, Cody Rhodes, Santino Marella, Christian, Damien Sandow, Tenzai, Tyson Kidd, and Sin Cara. Overall, this was a good ladder match in my opinion, and I think that Tyson Kidd did just enough so now that, WWE, the management, that can actually look into Tyson Kidd and actually put him in a good feud and possibly pushing him to get like the IC title or the United States Championship later on in the future. Because I think that would be good for him, and he's an overall good wrestler, and I'm tired of seeing him having great matches on Superstars and NXT, but then he goes on SmackDown, he jobs to somebody, which it gets tiring. Tyson Kidd needs to move up the ladder, so to speak. And the match overall was pretty good. And in the end, Dolph Ziggler ended up winning the Money in the Bank match and the briefcase. And I really wanted Cody Rhodes to win, but with Dolph, I'm not mad that he won because I want him to achieve that main event status. And perhaps later on, they'll build him up, and then when the time is right, cash in on Sheamus or whoever's the world champion, and he gets a good title reign. Because Dolph should be a main eventer by now, but he's not, which is disappointing. What else during this match? Oh, Sin Cara. It's funny. I thought Sin Cara was gonna wear his lucky white mask, with all his future main event pay-per-views and whatnot. But they did the same thing when Tenzai basically powerbombed him through the ladder, and that didn't really make any sense to me. I'm like, why would they repeat the same thing, But it was a little botchy with Sin Cara too. He almost injured Dolph Ziggler's neck when he was on the top rope. But man, that's what you expect from Sin Cara to begin with. But everybody did pretty good moves in this match, and I like this ladder match. This was pretty good. So the next segment that happened was that The Miz returned, and pretty much he has a new look. And I like The Miz's new look because it makes him look more like a heel, and he looks like a threat, And he says, he was in a movie, that he's going to be in tonight's WWE Money in the Bank ladder match for the WWE title contract. And I was so happy to hear that because I knew it was going to be boring with just four people, with just one more person, especially with The Miz. It'll just make the match a little bit more interesting. So I'm glad that he was going to be in the match. And next was the World Heavyweight Championship match between Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio had some new gear on, and this match, like they had previous matches like this, it were good matches, and Sheamus ended up winning. And the interesting thing that happened at the end was like Del Rio and Ricardo were attacking Sheamus, and then Dolph Ziggler comes in like he's about to cash in, and I'm like, all right, this is kind of too early. And then, he hits Del Rio with the briefcase, and Otis hits Dolph with the bro kick, and I'm like, please do not tell me that Dolph is going to be the first one to lose this championship match after winning the Money in the Bank. I'm like, please don't tell me. But luckily, the match didn't count, and Sheamus, was victorious. He walked out, and I was just so glad. That scared me a lot to see Dolph Ziggler being the first one to lose after winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. But he got bro kicked. Like what, the 8th time he got bro kicked by Sheamus. But Sheamus ended up winning the match. It was all right. In my opinion. Next we had the Ryback match between Ryback. It was a handicap match with Ryback against Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex. And what's funny was that the commentators. Well, actually no, that wasn't the next match. I'll talk about that later. The next match was actually a tag team match between the Primetime Players and Epico and Primo. And while commentating was Kofi Kingston and R-Truth. And I got to say, this match was entertaining as hell to me. I was laughing, especially with the commentary of Booker T, Kofi, and R-Truth, with Little Jimmy, and Abraham Washington, with him, A.W. I should say. Him on that microphone was just hilarious, coaching his team, and it was just hilarious, calling Titus a Seabiscuit. But Epico and Primo ended up winning, so now what I'm thinking is that later on there'll be a triple threat tag team match between Epico and Primo, the Primetime Players, and R-Truth and Kofi Kingston for the WWE tag title, since they beat the number one contenders. And in the end, though, there was a little confrontation between the Primetime Players and Kofi and R-Truth, and I was just laughing. This was an entertaining match in my opinion. I was laughing. It was funny. Next, I believe, if I'm wrong with the order of the matches, I apologize, but I believe the next match was the CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan match, with AJ being the special guest referee, and pretty much it was a no disqualification match. And honestly, this match was alright for a no disqualification match. We saw steel chairs, tables, kendo sticks, but AJ to me didn't really do that much. It's like she's involved in these matches, but she doesn't really do anything. She's just there. And all she did was she blocked a few moves, but that was really it. I expected her to do more, like push somebody through another table or something like that. But CM Punk ended up winning after throwing Daniel Bryan through a table, getting the 1-2-3. I hope they do something new with CM Punk, because as much as I like seeing CM Punk and Daniel Bryan wrestle and having great matches, it just gets boring seeing the same old thing with with the same two guys. Because we know they can perform well each other, but it's like it's too much. We've seen too much of CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. Hopefully they do something new with Punk and SummerSlam, or just something new. But I wish though that AJ did a lot more, but it is what it is. CM Punk retained the title. And next the match was between Ryback versus Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex, and once again it's a regular Ryback match, but Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex were able to get in a few blows. But it was funny though with the commentators how they were talking about Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins as if they were like an elite tag team. They've won multiple tag titles, because the way they were like talking about them, like they are the real deal. But I was surprised to hear that. But Ryback ended up winning, and with Ryback, you're gonna get the Goldberg chance no matter what. That's just the fans being fans. But at least he's getting over with the crowd. When they join him, feed me more. Feed me more. Ryback is getting over with the crowd with each match. I like that, and he's facing new competition, so it's good for Ryback. Next, we had the Random Divas match. I knew the people in the chat. I told them you're gonna get that Random Divas match, and we did. It was 6 Divas tag match between Layla, Caitlyn, and Tamina Snuka versus Beth Phoenix, Natalya, and Eve. And at first, it was boring. I was like watching TV, getting something to drink. But the ending was actually pretty interesting. With Layla, she's pretty good as a wrestler, and Tamina with that super kick surprised me. So I was like, all right, it wasn't that bad of an ending, and Layla team ended up winning. But I hope that later on that they put the Divas Championship on AJ, because AJ is the most relevant diva, and she gets the most crowd reaction out of all the other divas. And as much as I'm a fan of Layla, and I like her as champion, but you guys notice that ever since that she came back, she is not getting a crowd reaction whatsoever. Like, usually the crowd is dead. So, I feel bad for Layla for that to happen, but AJ, I think it'd be the first good step to really bring notice to the Divas division if they have AJ as the Divas champion. But a regular Divas match. What can I say? And then finally, the last match was the Money in the Bank match for the WWE Championship contract. John Cena, Kane, Big Show, John Cena, and The Miz. It was as I expected, just a whole bunch of people throwing ladders at each other, nothing really too exciting, and in the end, John Cena won. But what was surprising though was that the commentators were making it seem like, oh, the Big Show never brought out that big ass ladder that he had. I had a feeling he was going to do that, but the commentators were like, what in the world is that? Like, they never saw it before, but really, Big Show introduced that the first time he was in the Money in the Bank match, so I was pretty weird, ignoring that it never happened before. But John Cena won, he was happy. We all knew the ending was going to be like that. So overall, what I thought about the pay-per-view, it was alright, to be honest with you, but, nothing really was surprising. Like, the only interesting match was the first match, which was the Money in the Bank match for the World Championship contract, and that was it. Everything else was just predictable. We knew John Cena was going to win, we knew Sheamus was going to retain, and CM Punk Daniel Bryan match, AJ wasn't really that involved, was kind of disappointing me, but that's it. Like, nothing really surprised me at all with this pay-per-view, but it was an okay, I guess I'll say, pay-per-view. Excuse me. So let me know your thoughts below on this pay-per-view, what you thought, the matches, the outcomes, your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't enjoyed this video, and give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Yeah.